Episode 5. Okay, episode 5. Overall, I would say entertaining episode. And the first episode that actually had some comedic moments. Episode begins with Alexia going to meet a new character for us, a centaur. He might be called Kirion or something like that. I forgot. He's an old centaur dude who is wise or whatever. She has that map that I mentioned earlier, and she gave him the map so he can tell her what map actually shows, so he can decipher it. And it turns out map uses stars as navigation system to point out where the rest of the giant corpses are. I guess they'll use those corpses to be even more demonic or something stupid like that. I don't know. So yeah, but all of a sudden, Alexia gets ambushed by Seraphim and his men or his demons. And yeah, Kirion basically solds her out. he backstabs her, but he's a good guy in heart, but he had no choice. Something like that. Okay, so then Seraphim, instead of killing her on the spot, he takes Alexia to the camp. At the same camp, we change the scene. We get Heron getting out from the prison with two new buddies. And this was the first comedic moment where they get spanked with a whip. First one guy, then second, and then third Heron. And for each spank there was a sound effect. And it sounded like for each spank that it was a different tonality, different sound, so it sounded like a chord or something. So that was actually a nice touch. Then they sent those three at a battleship to vessel to work as a slaves, right? Now we get introduced to these two characters. One is handsome white man and the other is buffed black man. The handsome white man is called, with a beard, is called Avian or something like that. And the black man, I memorized it right on, he's called Coffee. I mean, pretty self-explanatory, right? So they are guarded by demonic people or demons, right? And these demons aren't out of control or anything like that. They're just regular guards with a demon appearance. So they now look even more stupid than they did in the first episode. I mean, if they're demons, they shouldn't have any brain cells or anything, right? There should only be demons, I guess. There's even one, I'll get to that later. So they are handcuffed and they are talking back and forth, these three, and I'm already expecting they will manage to get out of there. So they do. They manage to get out. How did they do it? I'm not really sure. I watched it and I missed it. I completely missed it. I guess they asked for a bathroom break or something stupid like that, yeah. And these demons were like, okay, or yeah. And in the first scene when Alexia fights these demons that ambush her, she slices one arm of one demon, and demon is like, ooh. That's the voice acting for demon sound effects. Okay, so they manage to escape, they kill all the demons on the ship, and that's it. Now, in the meantime, Seraphim is at the camp with Hera. And Hera gives him the instructions, tells him about the sword Zeus made for Heron, that he should find that sword and use it to kill Talos. I have no idea who that is. I don't think they actually show that character thus far. And I'm not sure that I remember from the Greek mythology if there is a Talos. So yeah, let's leave it at that. And to kill Zeus' son with that sword as well, or Heron, right? And then Seraphim goes to the village, finds the sword right away, and then we get introduced to the sword. And sword is basically this fancy sword, general bluish with golden handle sword, and it can cut through anything, which basically means when he demonstrated it, how he uses it, it basically means Zeus made a lightsaber. I mean, literally a lightsaber. It just doesn't leave the burning effect, it just slices through everything, like a laser or something. I don't know. So yeah, lightsaber. Okay, so Seraphim now realizes that Heron is on the ship because he sent him there, and he goes there, and that was actually a cool scene. He jumps and slices the ship in half with ease, of course. And then Zeus, now this is the thing that I left for this moment. Zeus gets visited by Hermes, and Hermes informs him about the next thing, which is while he was, and listen to this, he was collecting soul from a demon, one of the demons. Demon with a soul. Kind of doesn't make sense at all to me. I mean, demon would be a polar opposite of a human with a soul, I would guess. If he's a demon, he sold his soul to the devil, I guess. Right, something like that. So yeah, Seraphim killed this demon because he was weak, and Seraphim has this opinion on how weak entities shouldn't exist, you should cut them right on the spot. So he kills this demon, and the demon is like, ugh! And Hermes arrives, collects his soul in this mode as a Frodo when he puts on the ring. He's invisible. And while he collected the soul, he saw Seraphim taking orders from Hera. And then right away he informed Zeus about it, and then Zeus lost his shit, lost his cool. He was pissed. So, fight between Seraphim and Heron is about to begin, and Zeus realizes that Heron is not ready, and Seraphim has the sword and that spear that he uses that can pull like Thor can with Mjolnir. And so Zeus intervenes finally. He grows finally some hair on his testicles, right? So he's all filled with rage and starts throwing lightning at the sea and fucks the ship up, fucks everything up. sword falls at the bottom of the sea, and I'm not sure if Seraphim actually went for it to take it back. And that was the ending of the episode. It actually had one moment after that where Zeus finally finishes with this rage moment, stops throwing lightning bolts, and then his, I guess, older brother, because the dynamic is made between them like Poseidon is the older brother. Poseidon is below him, right? Like 10 meters in distance, and he just turns his head and gives Zeus the death stare, and Zeus kind of shit his pants, like he did something that he shouldn't have. So I'm guessing we are now going to get a battle between Poseidon and Zeus, but still Poseidon has no idea that Hera is plotting and scheming all this shit behind the scenes. So yeah, I should now say it should be interesting, but I doubt it's going to be interesting. Really, it's probably going to be stupid as everything thus far. One thing I forgot to mention about Zeus overall is his design. For some reason, Zeus looks like a 40-year-old man. That's actually attractive. He has a black hair, not white, not old people hair. He has black hair, and even parts of the beard, most of the beard is black. And his beard is also trimmed, like he is Zeus from 2020. He's manscaping or whatever. I don't know. He shaves his armpits. Metrosexual Zeus. While on the other hand, Poseidon looks exactly like how Zeus looked in God of War, which is a long ass beard, white hair, and overall that wise philosopher man approach from the Greece, from the ancient Greece. So yeah, also the characters overall have, I would say, basic expressions or basic emotions. I will, in the final video about the whole season, review of the whole season, I will show what I mean by that. Characters is either frightened or evil or sad. Yeah, that's basically it. There's no deeper. You cannot really look into their eyes and get the emotion. It's just he's generic evil, he's generic confused, he's generic sad. It might be because it was digitally drawn, which modern anime has a problem with. It lacks soul in the drawing, I would say. The older anime that was hand drawn looks a lot better, in my opinion. Okay, so yeah, that's episode 5 of Blood of Zeus.